Hey everybody, welcome to Squad Pod Sports. Today on the show, we're going to be talking about the NBA Finals. It's finally here. Two Titans clashing. And we're also going to be talking about the NFL a little bit. Is Kaepernick coming back to the NFL? All that and more. Stay tuned. Welcome to Squad Pod Sports. We're bringing our thoughts on the latest games and news around the sports world. Brought to you by Waves 5 Media this time. Brought to you by ourselves. So let's just talk about the NBA Finals here. It's finally down to it. The Warriors versus the Boston Celtics. The Celtics made it out.
I'll take a second, okay? And, I'm sorry. I like to be humble, but I predicted this weeks ago, okay?
You did?
Wanted to start this off by saying I picked Warriors Celtics, not like it was rocket science or anything like that. You picked the same, the Celtics making the conference finals, the Warriors make the conference finals. You just happen to pick the Bucks, so that's the only difference. I'm gonna go out on a limb and say Golden State is going to end up in the finals. Okay.
Okay.
Versus Boston.
Oh, Boston.
Boston's gonna come out. They're gonna end up playing Miami in the Eastern Conference Finals. There. I'm pretty hyped that it came true. It's going to be a great series, two historic franchises. We have a lot of storylines here.
Yeah. And them Celtics, man, I know my guess is you don't want them to win. You don't want them to add another chip to their, their already growing collection, their huge collection they have already.
Because I'm pretty sure at this point we have, we're tied with them at 17 and pop. So I don't want them to get that extra one up on us, more or less.
Yeah, and then you got Golden State, not even the triple, not even just Steph, Clay, and Draymond, but you also have Wiggins, who's been hooping.
Jordan Poole,
Jordan Poole
in there, superstar. He's pretty much a splash brother at this point, where he's just doing whatever he needs to do, or whatever they need him to do, we'll say. But it's been great seeing him transition from a G League player to being a splash brother, but. I would love to see a Steph Curry classic performance here. We're going to get to our predictions. I already have mine, but I would love to see Steph Curry just take over this series to the point where it's almost no argument to him getting the MVP,
Yeah, that's the only thing he needs to add to that collection there is the finals MVP there. And I think this is the year to do it. I mean, he's been having a great year here. They've been playing just great all around, not only offensively, but on the defensive side as well. They're going to match up very well against the Celtics, who, also one of the top teams defensively in the league. So we'll see how that goes against Steph and Clay and, Draymond, what they can do. Yeah. But it's going to be a great series.
And to your point there, the Celtics have really been probably the best team in the NBA since the
All-Star break.
The All-Star break, even before that, since January. Well, I don't forget when the All-Star break was, but I thought Valentine's Day. Yes, since the turn of the new year, they've been the best team in the NBA. Maybe not at all times, but consistently. As far as consistency goes, it doesn't surprise me at all to see him here in this position. Jason Tatum is a budding star. Jaylen Brown, Marcus Smart, they've kept the trio together and they're really going for it. So I'm excited for it. I think it's going to be a great series. I do not think it's going 7 though.
I think it'll probably go to 6, maybe. But I got the Warriors winning this. To be honest, I'm picking the Warriors in this.
I got Warriors in 6. That's what I was thinking, personally. Yeah. So it sounds like you're thinking the same thing there.
And it's funny you mentioned Jaylen Brown and the duos and everything. This is the first time since 1996 that 2 leading team scorers from both teams in the NBA Finals have spent their entire careers with the franchises. And that's Brown and Tatum and Steph and Clay.
Yeah, so old-fashioned, through the draft type of things here. So these two teams are proving that it can be done. You can get to a championship through the draft by building a team year after year, taking your lumps, getting as far as you can and lose it and then just rebounding, and that's what these teams have done. I know the Warriors have, they're kind of used to this, but especially the Celtics, man.
Yeah, I think they said it was 6 out of 8 years.
6
the Warriors are in it now. Yeah.
Yep. But before that, they weren't necessarily this team. They were nothing. They had Baron Davis was their best days beforehand.
And these past 2 years have been rough, just with plagued with injuries. Not only Clay but Steph as well. These past couple years. I mean, he had a great year last year, but he still had a couple injuries. But man, Clay missing these pretty much 2 seasons was rough.
It was huge hit to them. It really showed you how big of a piece he was. Like we really already knew this, but it proved it to you.
Yeah. Key for Warriors, man. Draymond needs to just chill. You need to don't be talking to these refs. Don't get ejected. Don't get these fouls.
Over under on how many games Draymond gets suspended in the finals. More or less than half a game.
Chill.
More or less than half a game.
More or less than half a game. Do you think how many games do you think he's going to get ejected?
I would say at least one.
At least one.
I would take the over on that shit,
I'll take the over on one.
At least one game he's getting ejected. I don't know if he'll get suspended any games. It has to be pretty bad.
I think he's at least getting ejected.
At least one game. But that wouldn't surprise me at all, man. It would be classic Draymond. We wouldn't have a Warriors finals without some drama like that happening.
Yeah, and I'm really hoping that we don't get what we've been getting these, through the rest of these playoffs here. It's just a blowout each game, just going back and forth. One way or the other. I hope these are good games that come down to the final seconds of the games. Exactly. And I think it has the potential to do so with these teams.
Yeah, I don't think either of these teams really are teams that allow them to get blown out. I know we did see it with the Celtics and the Heat and things like that, but like even with Dallas and Phoenix did it to Golden State. So it's interesting because this playoffs has really been lackluster. It's been a lot of blowouts. The general consensus is it's not the most entertaining year of NBA, which I do agree with. It just kind of has been one of those types of years, but it still doesn't mean that the finals can't be a great matchup here.
Yeah, absolutely. We still got at least 4 games, max 7 games of, good basketball to go through. An interesting stat here. Apparently Steve Kerr is 7-9 versus the Celtics in his career as a head coach of the Warriors.
That's it.
Yeah. My guess is, it just says 7-9 against the Warriors. I mean, the Celtics. The only team he has a losing record against since becoming Golden State's head coach.
Oh, shit. Interesting. That's something
to look out for here.
I don't know, man. I feel like the Celtics are definitely the underdog here, but it would be so confusing to see the Warriors lose this series. I feel like they have the power offensively and defensively to easily win this series. Probably 5 games, but I'm gonna say 6.
And they have the experience too. They know what it takes to win it all, and I think they can do so.
From coach to player, everybody on that team has more than enough championship experience, not just playoff experience, championship experience.
Yeah, and it's going to be a great series, and it kicks off Thursday night here.
Mm-hmm. Yep, so nice.
Yep. You have anything else you want to add, like as far as either the matchups or like what maybe the keys to each team winning the series here?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like the key for the Warriors, it might be really how good does Jordan Poole play, because the Celtics are one of the best defensive teams in the NBA. Where they're going to try their best to shut down, the moneymakers, the Clay and the Steph. You can only shut them down so much, but Jordan Poole being able to produce offensively will be huge for them. So we'll see how that goes.
For sure.
Another thing is you got Defensive Player of the Year over there, Marcus Smart, playing point guard against Steph Curry. So let's see if he can live up to that title. That I feel like would be the key for the Celtics there, is really what is Marcus Smart going to bring? Because he's not the best player on the team, but he might be able to lock down some of the best players on the Warriors there. So we'll see what happens. But
yeah, I fully agree with you there. Before we move on to some NBA news, just talking about the Celtics a little bit, their head coach, man, I don't want to fuck this up. Ime Udoka, in his first year as an NBA head coach, they went 51-31, second in the East. First rookie head coach in NBA history to win multiple Game 7s, and now he's in the finals. Hey. First year head coach.
And he's part of that Greg Popovich coach tree.
Coach tree. Man, I saw that them Bulls interviewed him before they hired Billy Donovan, and I'm like, I mean, Billy's been doing well for us though too. We didn't go to finals though. Come on.
Yeah.
But I mean, they also got like Brad Stevens in there, who's been
he
with
took
the
over Brad
organization.
Stevens' team. This is more of a Mark Jackson situation here.
We rebuilt it. Yeah.
Like Mark Jackson
already
built
had
up
this
the
team.
Warriors, and then Steve Kerr came in and took them to the finals, where it was just that little bit of a difference there. So I've all due respect to him, but this is really what Brad Stevens has been cooking up. Even the fact that he made the decision to step down or step up, if you would want to say, to the front office, but to be replaced by somebody else, to get a new fresh voice in the locker room. So I give a lot of the credit to Brad Stevens on building this franchise up to what it is here.
Yeah. I mean, the Celtics, even if they don't win it this year, they're going to be dominant here for years to come, and it's going to probably be like them, the Bucks, the Heat, possibly Phoenix. Depending on what the Heat do this offseason.
We're talking just the East, yeah.
But yeah, in the East, teams. The Sixers probably, but you're going to be seeing the same 3-4 teams up there in the top couple seeds. Hopefully, my Bulls are up there as well.
They will be, as long as y'all can keep Zach, But
but the Celtics, whether it's this year or next year or year after, it's looking like they might be getting a chip here.
Yeah,
in the next couple of years.
They were looking like a problem
together.
They were looking like a problem a couple years ago, to the point where they ended up falling a little bit short. Getting some heartbreaking playoff losses. But
Marcus Smart actually came out and said that if they would have beat the Cavs, they would have beat the Warriors in the finals.
Yeah. I'm like, I mean, they might have.
Might have.
They might have, but you didn't beat the Cavs. Yeah, exactly. So come on now, get out of here. But yeah, I think it's going to be a great matchup. I can't wait to see it.
Yeah. Just moving on to some other NBA news, what's going around in the NBA world. Apparently, Utah Jazz head coach Quinn Snyder has met with the team's management, and apparently there's a possibility that he could decide to leave the franchise. Not even get fired. He's like, man, I can't do this anymore.
I don't even want to be here. I don't even want to do this. He's just like, I need a leave of absence. Oh, you don't do that? Okay, I'm gone.
Like, bro, you got Donovan Mitchell and Rudy Gobert, Mike Conley.
Maybe there's enough like drama in the locker room that he really doesn't want to deal with all of that, because there has been a lot of issues and rumors coming out about the tension
them
that's
not
going
getting
on.
Along.
Ever since that COVID thing, but like, and it's been 2 years of it now, evolving and changing and different things popping up.
Since Rudy Gobert started the pandemic.
Yep, Rudy Gobert started this whole thing, man.
Like, I'm gonna touch these microphones.
Patient zero, dude. Oh my God, I remember that shit like it was yesterday.
It's crazy. The pandemic started with the NBA. Out of all things. Rudy Gobert. Before I touch all your microphones.
Y'all afraid of this?
Y'all afraid of this?
Hey, next bad.
Fed one day later. He's just like, Rudy Gobert got COVID. They're thinking about, they shutting games down in the middle, like before the games even start. Nope, go home. We got COVID stuff going on.
Oh my God, man, that was a crazy day in the world, let alone.
And then NBA, baseball shuts down after the NBA. Hockey shuts down. NFL, there's a possibility they'll shut down, but they're trying to do everything they can to come back.
The NFL, I've learned, is like,
they don't give a fuck. They're going for it regardless.
They're bigger than a lot of governments.
We're not losing money.
Yeah,
that's. They're like, no. There's games happening one way or another. We're gonna make it happen.
You see those leagues shut down? Like, they took time off away from Figure it out. We're not losing any goddamn like.
NFL, the type of league that if they couldn't get all these teams to agree, they would take all the players that would want to play and put them on teams and do their own little league.
We will figure this shit out. Oh, wait, Denver has 5 quarterbacks and they all have COVID. Figure it out. Get somebody out there. Figure it out.
We have games.
We have games. Like, and that's the craziest part about the NFL. Ugh.
We ain't flexing games. You better play.
We'll move you to a Tuesday or something, but you're playing. God damn it!
You got a coach that can play. That's fine too. We'll make them eligible.
Your coach got COVID. So you got 12 coaches. Somebody else, fuck it. You'll be fine. Like,
Yeah.
it's ridiculous.
Oh, you got no coaches? Well, your assistants are going to be the head coaches here for the game.
Figure it out.
Figure it out. Not our problem.
Or you're taking an L, and they're still going to play the game somehow.
That's the craziest shit. That was the craziest shit about it. Going into it is just like, you have to play this game, but if you can't, you're taking an L. Sorry.
Yeah, sorry. No other
We're not
going to
help you. We're not going to give you any leeway. Oh, sorry, you can't play. You're taking an L. That's how it is.
That's the NFL for you, man. The NFL don't give a fuck. Like you said, don't fuck with their revenue. And that's why we think this Dan Snyder shit's going to be so big, because he's fucking with the revenue, you know.
He's fucking with the revenue, but at the same time, he probably has some shit on everybody else. And if that gets out, they're going to lose some money from that too. So like, they're going to try to cover all their tracks as best as possible.
And now John Gruden is suing them, apparently, you know, like, I don't really have too much information on that, but
apparently they didn't throw out the case. Like, the NFL motion to have it thrown out, and they didn't. So it's going to go farther into the system here. Who knows? I don't have as much information on that either. So that's going to be a developing story. You got Deshaun Watson having more lawsuits coming out against him, and they're already, they're deliberating on what his punishment, if he has one, is going to be. I don't know, man.
Crazy time in sports, because
the Browns look like just as bad as the Washington team at this point. They're.
I told you. My God. I told you weeks ago. I was like, the Browns are worse off now with Deshaun Watson than they were with fucking Baker Mayfield, man.
They screwed it all up, bro.
And it doesn't even have 100% to do with Deshaun Watson. It's the Browns. They continue to make idiotic decision after idiotic decision. And it just bites them in the ass every time. So it's to the point where I fully expect whatever decision they make, even if it seems good in the moment, I know in hindsight it's gonna be a terrible decision 3-4 weeks from now, 20 weeks from now. You're gonna look back on whatever big news they had, big splash, to be like, damn, they're stupid. They should have did this. You know what I mean? And like, I know hindsight's 20/20, but the Browns' track record with bad decisions is so long by this point. Like, the quarterback
this dude that like didn't play a full season, has all these allegations. He's being investigated. Let's make him the highest paid quarterback in the league.
Let's give him a fully guaranteed highest paid contract.
Let's give him all the money.
Baker Mayfield, whose blood, sweat, and tears he's put into this field. He's got commercials about how our stadium is his home.
Played with like no shoulder last year, hanging.
Fuck that guy. He's trash. We got Deshaun Watson. Yeah. Like, oh, you're gonna trade Baker, right? No, he's still part of the team.
Yeah.
The fuck are you?
What are you doing?
I'm telling you, everything bad that happens to them in the future, they fully deserve, and I feel no fucking sympathy for the Browns.
It's like we mentioned a couple weeks ago. Like, I think it was they didn't say who it was, but it was just one of these, front office people on these other teams. There's talking about the Baker Mayfield situation. Like, why would we help the Browns out at all?
Yeah,
like, why would we do them any favors?
Nobody wants to help the Browns.
And I know everybody's shitting all over Baker Mayfield. They're just like kicking him while he's down at this point. But at this point, I'm on his side. Like, fuck the Browns,
That's what I'm saying.
They did him so dirty, dude.
Fuck the Browns. Even if this dude can't play, like, I still think he's one of the best quarterbacks in the world, where he deserves a spot, maybe not starting, but somewhere in this league, most likely. The same way with Cap for the last 6 years. We'll get to that. But, like, I didn't think there was necessarily 64 people that were better than this guy who went to Super Bowl. You know what I mean? But, like,
Baker Mayfield, it's not like he hasn't done anything for the Browns. He's had some decent seasons with them.
A couple 10-win seasons, man.
They got a playoff win or two. Like, come on, man. And at least with Atlanta, Matt Ryan said he was pissed about it, but in the end, they had the decency to work with him to trade him where he wanted to go.
Exactly. Help him find a spot.
The Browns should have fucking worked with Baker to get him where, like, at least somewhere where he was comfortable playing, instead of just holding him hostage at this point.
Nope. And now that's exactly what they're doing. They waited and fucked around and fucked around and fucked around, and now they're holding him hostage.
So what do you
like? Don't know what's gonna happen.
I understand he has he wants to play well, but if Deshaun gets suspended and they expect him to play, what makes you think that he's going to want to play for you, number one, or if he's going to want to play well for you?
Yeah, but I guess gonna be shit on purpose. I would.
Yeah, I guess, but you're in a position where you want to be playing though. Yeah, you're getting paid, but you're gonna want to play for someone though.
But we've seen like even James Harden has come out and said not come out and said it, but like we've seen situations where a person purposely like is playing shitty to get out of a situation,
Yeah.
And then they go and they thrive somewhere else. Where James Harden might have been a bad example, but the way he forced his way out of Houston, just being terrible and just all that, just I don't know. We'll see what happens. I would love to see the Browns' demise regardless.
Oh yeah, I fully agree. And it was nice seeing the Browns actually doing well for a little bit, for a couple years, like on the upside.
I was happy for them, and now I'm realizing that they're just
you don't deserve happiness.
They don't deserve.
You guys don't. And that's nothing against the fans. I'm sorry you root for the Browns, but the Browns you don't deserve happiness.
The organization does not deserve it whatsoever.
Yeah, not at all. Yeah, I wish well for their players and their fans, but man, that organization does not deserve happiness.
Get out of there as soon as you can. Once you get drafted by them, make your money, do as good as you can for them.
Peace. Do well. Get your stock up, and then peace. If you can.
Get out of there. That's the best thing you can do.
That was a long tangent, but we actually cleared the air on some shit here. On the show. Just finishing some basketball news. Tyler Herro said that he wants to be a starter in his 4th year. He said, "It's my 4th year. I've earned it. I've earned the right to be a starter." So I don't know. If the Heat aren't going to do it, is he going to try to force his way out of the Heat?
What do you mean? What are you trying to say there? Is that what he's trying to say? Like, either start me or let me go somewhere else.
That's the way it seems. And I mean, he's been in speculation and amongst all these trade rumors these past year or so since the bubble. So, I mean, I'm sure there's a lot of teams that are going to be in on Tyler Herro sweepstakes if they can.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, he just won 6th man, didn't he?
Yeah.
6th man of the year. Yeah. So why not put him in the starting lineup?
Oh man, that's interesting. I don't know if he fits on Miami's, but we'll see what happens going forward there with that one.
Yeah, they were just unfortunate. I mean, he was injured. I think he had like a groin injury. He couldn't really play those past couple games there in that series. Yeah, so we'll see what happens with him. Moving on, the Cleveland Cavaliers are hiring Luke Walton, familiar face for you, as an assistant coach. Apparently.
Luke Walton.
Luke Walton.
Got it. I'm not going to get into it. It's not his fault.
He apparently spent his final 2 seasons as a player with the Cleveland a decade ago.
I am happy for Luke Walton and whatever he does in his future. Just know that when I think about Luke Walton, unfortunately, what I think about is the coach and not the player. And it makes me pretty upset, but it's not his fault. It's not his fault. It was the terrible years, but it's not his fault. It's all right. It's all right.
Yeah. We thought that was going to go a lot better than it did.
I was happy about it at first. I was like,
I know. I was even like, yeah, that's a good sign. You got Luke Walton, man.
Lonzo Ball.
Hey, wait a minute. We got Lonzo. What you talking about? That's my boy.
Lonzo Ball.
I agree. Everyone was like, Lonzo.
Peer pressured into that shit.
He did.
Oh,
that wasn't his decision. That was
the Lakers got peer pressured into that shit by an old man. God damn it. I still have my
man
Lonzo,
out here still saying wild things. He's like, Lonzo gonna be a star of the Bulls. Zach LaVine leaving. Like, he's saying all kinds of crazy shit, bro.
Thing is, I haven't heard nothing out of his mouth because I don't think anybody in like LA camp's reporting on him. You know what I mean?
I don't hear too much from him until this offseason. They had to ask him. He's like, yeah, Zach LaVine gonna leave. We don't need him anyway. Lonzo gonna lead the team.
Why does he? Oh my God,
like, bro. Zach, like, from everything I'm seeing, I'll get to that about that Zach LaVine. We'll talk about that. And other news here, apparently there's rumor mill. They're saying Donovan Mitchell to the Knicks or the and Jazz is highly unlikely. Between the Knicks and Jazz. So he's not going to the Knicks. But apparently league sources are saying the Heat are one team that can offer a better package around Tyler Herro and multiple first-round picks. Man, you get Kyle Lowry to fuck up out of Miami and you get Donovan Mitchell on that squad,
Yeah, Kyle
he's got
Lowry is
skills.
not. He's like a shell of himself now. He's still
That's not the
semi-productive,
same Kyle Lowry.
but he's nowhere near. He's like more of a role player now. You know, that would be amazing, man.
Tyler Herro wants to be a starter. Ship his ass to Utah. Boom. Get Donovan Mitchell. You trade some first rounders. It's worth it. You getting Donovan Mitchell.
Because you know how close you are to getting there. You just been to a finals. You just got to the Eastern Conference Finals again. You came up a little short, but you know how they're so close. They're like Boston the last couple years.
And you saw it here. Jimmy needs help. Jimmy was out here doing everything he could those last couple games. Like
taking unnecessary shots, even. You know, but like I think that would be a great move for them. I personally wanted to see Mitchell in the Lakers jersey, but
I don't know if you guys getting anybody high profile like that here
the highest
until some money's off the books.
We're gonna get is Kyrie Irving. Oh, okay. That's the
keeping Russell Westbrook.
The highest profile player we're gonna get is just gonna be by keeping Russell Westbrook.
Keeping Russ and AD.
Nah, we're gonna trade Russ for Kyrie.
You think the Nets are gonna go for that?
Yeah.
Katie's like, man, I don't want to fucking play with Russ again. Come on, man.
Yeah, I think it's gonna happen.
Man. I played with Harden. I played with Kyrie, man. I don't want KD fed up. That's another story we're gonna go into. Apparently, KD hasn't talked to the Nets organization since that last game.
He hasn't talked to anybody in the office since the season has ended.
You talk about your prediction. This was my prediction when fucking KD and Kyrie and everybody signed with the Nets. I knew this was going to blow up within like 3 years. I called this shit. I said 2 of them were going to be leaving. Boom. Harden left. Kyrie's definitely probably going to be on his way out.
He just came back. That's the thing about it. He was gone.
And now KD's pissed off because now he's not going to have any help.
And now the Warriors back in the finals. He's like, man, these motherfuckers. Like, God,
KD going to go back to them Warriors. Or he going to go to Chicago. He loves Chicago.
He ain't going to
Chicago all the time.
He ain't going to Chicago.
He going
to Seattle.
He going to play. Yeah, if that happens, he's going to Seattle.
If they announce a team,
that expansion team 100% that's happening.
He's gone.
Yeah.
He's going to be the first player signed to that team.
What better way to start over for Dame? Go to Seattle. Go to a new team. If KD's going there,
Dame go that far. Exactly. You know? Portland, Oregon, Seattle.
You're not technically jumping to like ring chase because you're going to a brand new team.
Yeah. Exactly.
Well, it's not a new team, but a new. Technically, you're bringing that new franchise back.
That would be wild. Dame and KD on a brand new team. It'd be like the Golden Knights, like busted onto the scene and winning a championship real fucking early in their existence,
real quick.
You know, like real fucking early, just getting that out the way real quick. You know, like
Dame's just like, all right, I'm not gonna go to one of these other teams, but I'll go to one of these expansion new teams because it's not technically like, jumping ship.
I want to see it. I want to see the expansion teams regardless of if KD goes, but I do want to see the Seattle Sonics come back and then whatever team they make for Vegas. It's a bad idea, terrible idea.
Yeah.
I would still like to see it because them Vegas teams always have like some cool ass colors,
That's true. But I'm definitely looking forward to that, especially if it's Seattle. I'm just hoping my Bulls get KD or draft Bronny, get Braun too, get 2 Brons for the price of 1.
Yeah, win the double Braun sweepstakes.
The double Braun sweepstakes.
I don't know who the hell is gonna get that. And the thing I think about a lot of the time is, like, you telling me that this shit ain't like who type of thing, because like what if Bronny really isn't a good enough? I know he's good, but like there's thousands of high school basketball players out there. You know what I mean? Yeah. There's thousands of college basketball players.
Lonzo got tricked into drafting Lonzo and like
that's
the
what
top
I'm saying. Like there's a lot of Greg Oden from Ohio State, my own bucket. Like he was great in college, but like into the NBA, you're not, you don't produce. This shit happens all the time. Yeah. I feel like he'll get to the NBA regardless of how he does in high school or college. Like it doesn't, like he's LeBron James' son.
Yeah, he's LeBron James' son.
Like this dude's potential, regardless of whatever that's worth, is through the roof.
I've been hearing a ton about Scottie Pippen's son too.
Now
that's been playing.
To be completely honest and like fair about it, I have watched a lot of Bronny like highlights and shit. Dude
can hoop.
Dude can hoop, bro. He's like his dad on defense, but he can shoot three. He shoots the lights out. Like it's what his his shot is amazing. He's throwing the tomahawk down. So he seems like the full package. He plays point apparently. So we'll see. I think about that. Like not necessarily like a bad thing, just more or less like a devil's advocate thing. Like I don't know. Is he even good enough to make it to the league? Like everybody's just like, oh, he's going. I remember hearing about Andrew Wiggins and Jabari Parker years beforehand when they're like the next LeBron James, the next and calling him that. Like sometimes, like in the last person I've seen live up to this hype is LeBron James, where he was called.
They said Zion's gonna be LeBron James.
Zion can't get on the court.
Well, it's a good segue because that's my next news. Apparently, Zion. Coincidentally enough, the Pelicans have cleared Zion Williamson to play games right after the season. Go right the week before the finals. They cleared him to play after missing the entire 2021-22 season.
I got a bold prediction here that might not seem that bold. I know I probably say that shit every time, but like Zion Williamson will miss the first couple games of the next season.
You think?
Yes.
You gonna get hurt like training or something?
Something will happen, and he will not play that first game. At least that first game, like opening night. They're gonna have the Pelicans facing somebody on opening night, schedule wise, and he's not gonna play. I guarantee it. I'm gonna.
You should write that down.
I'm going to.
Yeah, because I want to know.
Zion
we're gonna have to keep track of that one.
Will not play the first game of 2023. Just so we can remember, because it's one of those things where I'm like, until I see otherwise, this is what I think. You know what I mean? Like, what's the best ability?
Availability.
And I like being right on bold ass predictions. So I'm just going to put that out there real quick. Okay?
Yeah.
Zion will not play the first game of 2023. Okay. We can move on.
Yeah. And I mean, a lot of people are saying, well, look at his numbers before he got hurt. Well, dude can't stay healthy. Like you got to play. And if the more injuries you face, it's going to be harder to come back from and be that player you were before, even though he is young. So I don't know, man. I don't know what to think of Zion. I mean, that dude got a cover on NBA like rookie year pretty much. Like, come on now. he was like super hyped up.
It does make sense.
It
it's
doesn't.
Like overblown type of shit. I know he's great. He's the shit, but it's overblown.
The hype was outrageous for him. Yeah, he was a great player, but man, like they made him to be the next LeBron, Michael Jordan. Like he was going to take over the NBA right away.
And he really hasn't done anything. He had a couple good games and shit. Some good statistics, but like I said, you gotta just get your ass on the court first, then worry about everything else.
That's the most important part.
Yeah.
Moving on here, I got last two things. ESPN's NBA draft analyst Mike Schmidt is finalizing a deal to become assistant GM with the Portland Trail Blazers.
Okay.
Apparently, he's going to play a significant role with new GM Joe Cronin and leading the Blazers' domestic international scouting departments.
Okay, interesting.
Last thing I have, Nikola Jokic has reaffirmed his longtime commitment and apparently is going to be signing a new supermax deal this offseason, $260 million. Damn.
Sticking around for the long term.
Two-time MVP.
Not going anywhere. Denver's got him for a while there. Hopefully we can get Jamal Murray healthy. They still got Aaron Gordon out there, right? Get some pieces around him. That team could be scary, man.
It's the health, man. That's another thing. Like, these guys just need to get healthy. And that goes into the argument that we've been having the past couple years is, should we shorten the NBA season, man? No? Like, just move it down to 72 games?
Maybe.
I'm not saying like a lot, but like a little bit. Because, I mean, you got this has been talked about so much here for a while now, but you got players going on load management and resting. You got players limping into the playoffs, and at this point, the past couple of years, it's been pretty much who's healthy enough to play in the finals is going to win it.
All right, hear me out. make it a 62 game season, okay, and do this Adam Silver play it like tournament mid-season.
Do the tournaments. That's where those come into play.
Have some type of significance. Like, say you win the tournament, then you get an automatic playoff bid, regardless.
You get locked in,
regardless of what happens. Say you're fucking because either way, if you're a shit team and you make the playoffs on an automatic bid, you're still gonna get knocked off. The best team will still end up making the finals in a 7-game series, especially. Yeah. So, but like, give some major incentive like that, where if you win this tournament, you'll make the playoffs right off the bat, no questions asked.
Yeah, why not?
Something interesting. I would love to see a single elimination tournament.
Boom, we fixed it. We fixed the NBA schedule.
Games, tournament with everybody. How many games would each team have to play in a tournament? What's it? That's a lot of math to figure out right now. So we'll get back to that.
That's their job. That's the NBA's job, is to figure out the logistics of it. We're the idea guys, all right?
Yeah, exactly. We don't make
money. You want numbers and stats and graphs and shit. That we're not the guys. You gotta go to the big brains that get paid to do this kind of stuff.
They'll figure it out. But this is what you gotta do, man.
We're the idea of that.
That shit would be so cool, man. I would love to see it. Get basketball every day, like playoff type basketball. I mean, I know that's what the playoffs are, especially in the first couple rounds. But it would just be so different.
It would.
And I personally, I think the NBA kind of took a hit with how lackluster this NBA playoffs has been. So they kind of could use some rejuvenation there.
Yeah, whether it's 62 games or 72, I think it'll help players in the long run. And say you put 62 games, man, you can put that all-star game right in the middle, dab in the middle of the season or something. Boom.
Exactly.
It'd be great.
Yeah, I think it would be awesome as well, instead of just awkwardly 3/4 of the way through the year.
Yeah. It is so weird that it comes so late into the season. But anyway, do you have anything else as far as NBA, man?
Nope.
All right, we can roll right into some NFL talk. As of tonight, the Falcons announced they were going to be bringing back the red throwback helmets that are going to go with their black throwback jerseys this year.
Awesome. I feel like the last time I saw that, I can picture like Roddy White in the jersey. The black jersey with the red helmets. It
looks fire, man.
It is so cool to see. So I'm really glad that they're bringing those back. The Patriots throwback helmets really aren't that exciting. So what I'm really excited for is all the other teams that we're going to be seeing, especially the Eagles. Things like
I'm excited, man.
Badass one.
Yeah, but, ours aren't coming back till next year, though. Unfortunately.
Yeah.
The Kelly Greens, but we get that black helmet this year. I'm excited to see that with the all black jerseys and stuff. I'm excited to see you guys. You guys are wearing like the red ones with the old Pat the Patriot, like
Pat Patriot,
the center. Yeah.
Top of them helmets, man. It'd be pretty cool.
It's gonna be cool.
By the way, I just wanted to shout out Tom Brady because the match. You know what I mean? That's the only reason I'm wearing. Yeah. The only reason I'm wearing this here.
Yeah, that's going to be interesting. I was watching a little bit of that a little earlier. Steelers defensive lineman Stephon Tuitt apparently retired from the NFL today. He said he released a statement saying, "Yep, it's not from me. I'm out. Had enough."
Figure it out, Tomlin.
Figure it out. The Browns, we talked about the Browns. They franchised they already franchise tag tight end David Njoku, but they apparently reached an agreement for a 4-year, $56 million contract extension. He gets $28 million guaranteed. So they locked him down.
It seems like a good thing, but it's probably gonna fuck him over. I like him. He's a good player, especially like he's a great all-around tight end. So we'll see what happens, but he's one that can't seem to stay healthy either.
Yeah. Former Dolphins free agent wide receiver Albert Wilson signed a 1-year deal with the Vikings.
Okay. Trying to help them a little bit. Kirk Cousins out here like, please help me.
Yeah.
Not just Jefferson and Adam Thielen, though.
Yeah. I mean, that's just probably a def signing at that point.
Yeah.
Some sad news in the NFL here. Former Dallas running back Marion Barber was found dead in his apartment apparently today. They're still trying to figure out what's going on there, but man, that's sad news.
That is super sad, man. I hate hearing things like that.
Yeah, and this is a couple days, maybe a week removed from the Cardinals cornerback and former Vikings first-round pick Jeff Gladney. He passed away at the age of 25. Man, so like
a car accident
right after another, man. That's sad, man.
He was just drafted. just in 2020. So it's so crazy. This type of stuff happens every day, not necessarily in the NFL. So it's super sad, but it's unfortunate. These types of things happen, man. I hate it.
Yeah, you hate to see it happen, and especially like such freak ways too. Like we don't know what's happening with Marion Barber, but in a car accident, man, you never know when that could happen at any time, man. It's just
right. Yeah, and it was him and his girl apparently. So like that's two families affected by that.
Yeah. So I mean, terrible news in the sports world here this week. But moving on here, this is kind of interesting story. I know you probably saw this, but Celtics Jaylen Brown and Rams Aaron Donald signed with Kanye West Donda Sports.
Yeah.
And apparently Donda Sports, they signed their deal, and apparently it's not for playing. This is like a marketing deal and everything. It's not like Donda Sports isn't involved with the actual like in-game contracts and stuff like that having to do with the team and organization for them. They're going to be doing like marketing and promotion and that kind of stuff for them, like deals and that kind of stuff.
That makes sense.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's interesting, but it's crazy that like, I know it's Kanye, but just a startup like this, it's crazy that you have these huge names. Aaron Donald just won a Super Bowl. Jaylen Brown's go into the finals, are hopping on this from the start.
And like you said, I know it's Kanye, so that's really probably the biggest part about it. Like, he convinced them to just hop on, join the team. Whatever he said, it worked. And
now, of course, I don't know the specifics, so I don't know. Like maybe to them, it's just like a high reward, no risk type thing, or maybe if they had to throw some money in or do something, I don't know. I don't know what it's like for them, but to me, that seems like a pretty big gamble.
Yeah, I think it works out for them as far as, like you said, I don't think it really would hurt them too much. Even if Kanye does some crazy shit, they're not really they're just, you know what I mean? Like, they're not really that invested into the whole, like, especially, like you said, they're not their real agents in the first place, so they could kind of wipe their hands clean with it.
That's what I'm thinking.
Crazy shit does happen in the
they're
first
just like,
place,
all right, peace, terminate the contract or whatever.
Yeah. So, I mean, there's probably just, like you said, a high reward, low risk.
Yeah. Speaking of contracts, former Bears defensive lineman Akeem Hicks reached an agreement on a 1-year deal up to $10 million with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. That defense gets even more solid. That was former Patriot, is it not?
I don't think so. He was on the Giants.
I thought he was on the Pats at one point.
Wasn't he on the Giants?
Was he? I know he made a name on the Bears. Like, he was huge on the Bears.
I don't think he was a Patriot.
I'll look it up. We go fact check it. I thought he was a Patriot. Akeem Hicks.
Oh, I thought you said Akeem Hicks.
Yep. He was drafted by New Orleans in the 3rd round of 2012, and he also played for New England Patriots and Chicago Bears.
I thought you said Hakeem Nicks. The wide receiver?
Akeem Hicks. No.
I thought you said Hakeem Nicks, the wide receiver that played for the Giants.
No. Akeem Hicks.
Okay, never mind. I don't remember him playing for us, but okay, I definitely that makes more sense. The names are so similar. Holy shit.
They are similar. Sorry. I was like, wait a minute. I didn't even notice you said like you had the name wrong at first. Like, like you said the other dude.
Hicks.
Yeah. Akeem Hicks.
Akeem Hicks. I gotta Google him. Holy shit.
I didn't even think about it, bro.
Holy shit. Oh my god. Well, I'll be damned. I mean, I must have, because like I feel like I do remember him being on the Bears too. I must have somehow just thought he was
a great player on the Bears there. They were actually expecting him to re-sign. But yeah, he went to the Bears there. Oh, he went to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Okay.
No word on Gronk though.
Gronk chilling. Like I told you what's Gronk's situation a couple weeks ago.
Gronk
is chilling.
Waiting.
They're like, all right, look, tell us if you're coming back. You don't gotta go. You don't gotta announce shit. Just tell us. Then show up weeks from now. Weeks and weeks from. You don't gotta come
during training camp or right before the season.
Right before the season, even. You don't even gotta come to training camp. You don't want to, Gronk. Just send us videos of you doing workouts the same way you did in the past. Like, I don't care if you record them all in the same day. Like,
just changed his outfits. That was ridiculous, bro.
It's crazy that he admitted that.
That's big brain thinking right there, though. Like, that's genius.
That's like oh my God, it's so ridiculous. I don't know what will happen with Gronk. I would love to see him back in the league, obviously, but he did retire once, so it wouldn't be that surprising to see him peace out again, even if Tommy's wanting him back, because he came back and he won another Super Bowl with him, man. The shit's crazy.
Yeah, run it back, man.
He already accomplished what he wanted to do, though. Like, that's what I mean. Like,
that's true.
He's like,
why risk getting another concussion, risking
Yeah.
your body any further at that point?
Yeah.
But then going on to some of the funniest news of the week here. We talked about last week the Washington Commanders proposal, and they bought some land for like $100 million, and they're going to build a new stadium, and it's what was like $1 billion or something. It was some outrageous number to build this like city complex for the new stadium. Well, apparently their proposed stadium would be the smallest in the NFL. Like, the stadium itself would be the smallest stadium in the NFL.
Even smaller than like old ones currently.
Yeah, it'd be the smallest stadium. Apparently, a lot of the money that's going into this is for like the practice facilities and making like the facilities for the fans and everything nice. But as the stadium itself, it would be the smallest stadium.
No, they got to go back to the drawing board on that one.
Right, bro? You got to go back to the drawing board.
The laughing stock, like
bro,
come on.
Your plans are hilarious. Like, come on now. You
Even
can't even do your plans right.
Who's running this shit show? God damn it. And from top to bottom, like, what is going on in Washington? Even from like politically to sports, like, who's running
everything,
this shit?
top to bottom? What is going on? At least like the Browns are like, oh, we're trying to do something here. We go re-sign David Njoku. We go trade for Amari Cooper. We're trying, guys. The Washington's like, what are we doing?
It's like
we have no clue what we're doing.
Like, where everybody's running around with things on fire. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like all the SpongeBob's running around with things on fire. It's just
it's a shit show. Carson Wentz is the future. We're gonna trade for him.
I forgot
he'll be all right.
That they had Carson Wentz.
Carson Wentz will be all right under Ron Rivera. We can fix him.
Yeah.
We can fix him.
Yeah, that's what McLaurin needs. Is Carson Wentz.
Oh my gosh, I can't, bro. I saw there is a dude that it was like a checkmarked account too. He's like, Washington's going 12-5 this season. Bro, what team are you watching? Like, what team are you looking at? You think they go 12-5?
He was in a different universe watching that shit.
Who are you? You tweeting from a different universe over here.
From a whole different multiverse. Like, come on now. Our Washington is not going 12-5 this year. I guarantee you that.
Oh my gosh. That. No way.
They're going to finish last in that division. And the only way they're not going to finish last is because the Giants exist. Yeah. You know,
this dude must be talking about him playing Madden. He's talking booted up Madden. Up. He's like, I'm going 12-5 with Washington.
Oh yeah, baby. Carson Wentz is the answer.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, that's like Washington's like can't get right, man. That's what Washington can't get rights.
Speaking of Carson and Washington and the NFC East, this is a little bit random, but I saw that if you could guess who the odds, like, let me phrase it this way. Who has gotten the most bets on MVP for this upcoming season? Who would you guess?
Josh Allen. Oh, you mean like within the NFC East particularly?
Nope. In the NFL, who has had the most bets placed on them for an MVP? Now, keep in mind, I'm saying the most bets placed on them.
So it's probably a low number. Like it's probably like
it's taken into the account of people further down on the list with higher odds.
Higher odds.
Exactly.
Jalen Hurts?
Number one.
Really?
More people have bet on Jalen Hurts to win MVP this year than any other quarterback in the league.
I'm not gonna lie, I was thinking about doing it. I was thinking about putting
because the odds are great right now, and
they have a high upside right now.
Yeah, it's like not super out of the question type of situation. Like, so Jalen Hurts is number one in betting as far as the MVP.
I mean, Carson Wentz had an MVP year his second year in the league. Why not? I mean, second year starting for Jalen. Why not? This is technically his third year in the league. I
won't compare Jalen Hurts, Carson Wentz.
I'm not comparing, but I'm saying if Carson can do it, Jalen can do it. That's what I'm saying. If Carson can have an MVP season in his second year starting.
That's like me letting you get 40 points in the first half and telling myself, if you could score 40 points in the first half, I could score 40 points in the first half, or in the second half. You know what I mean?
But you can. That's the thing. You can do it. It's just a matter of will you.
That's why the odds are what they are.
Exactly.
You know? But I just thought that was interesting that he's number
crazy.
one. You know, people
that makes sense though.
When you
look at it,
even more than anybody.
I'll probably do it. Why not?
Put like $10 on it or so.
Shit. Speaking of Eagles or former Eagles here, after years of discussions and fighting, former NFL running back Jay Ajayi has received a settlement of $5 million loss of value insurance policy. Apparently, he played 3 more games after tearing his ACL in 2018, but he got his payout for that injury.
Okay, so it was he on the Eagles when it happened?
I believe so. It didn't say the Eagles were involved. It just said he received a payout from the NFL. So it was just an insurance policy. No, he didn't tear his ACL with us.
Yeah, it was probably not related to y'all. Like,
it's probably with the Dolphins.
Even still, like, regardless of whatever happened, whatever process he went through, it had nothing to do with any franchise. Like you said, it probably went straight to the NFL office.
But I believe we were the last team he played for, though.
Okay.
Antonio Brown says, "Don't expect me to be playing in 2022." What do you say? His exact quote is like, "Don't play yourself. Think about me playing in 2022." That was like the quote.
He ain't gonna play. Nobody wants him.
That's the thing. It's like, did you have a choice, bro? Because I don't know if anybody wants you to play on this.
He probably got a call from his agent, like, "Look, AB,
like, nah, I didn't want to play anyway, man. I wasn't gonna play."
It's like Donald Trump taking the invitation away from them after they were like, "Nah, we ain't coming." You know, all right, whatever, cool, because you were.
I didn't want you to come anyway. You're not invited.
Ridiculous, man.
Apparently, roster cuts during preseason are going to stay the same as last year. Will be gradual instead of 90 to 53 in one shot. So August 17th, first season game is going to go from 90 to 85. August 23rd, the second game is going to be from 85 to 80. And then the third game is going to be August 30th, and they're going to go from 80 to the 53 roster.
Yep. So, I mean, that's cool. It kind of adds some intrigue to things, you know, as far as, like, who's going to make the cut, you know, who's going to make the team, you know. It's really more or less in the locker room than anything else.
Yeah. And on top of that, apparently they changed some rules from the NFL and NFLPA about the practice squad. Practice squads are going to be going up to 16. Teams guys now have 10. Was 4 players in the practice squad who have 2 or less accrued seasons.
Okay.
Which is interesting.
It's kind of giving more depth options for teams going forward.
Yeah. Practice squad can be placed on 55-man game day rosters 3 times. Was 2. So they upped that. And up to 8 players can return from IR. They can return after being on the list for 4 games. Was 2 players after 6 games, pre-COVID rules, and 3 games during COVID. So they upped that as well.
Damn.
And the last thing is players can be activated twice off of IR. 3rd time on the list ends the season for that player.
Okay. So, yeah, they're definitely getting more lax with these rules as far as allowing people to make comebacks and, you know, different avenues to have time off and make sure you're still back for the season. Not playing because of some stupid rule where you are actually healthy, you know.
Yeah. But yeah, so it seems like they're kind of being more lax on that, trying to help these teams out a little bit more going forward. It seems like they kind of figured out what worked and what didn't during these COVID restrictions. And now that everything's lifted, they're just kind of implementing these things into there. And I'm sure they're going to be doing the same thing going forward now with the XFL, which was what they were thinking about doing previously when the XFL restarted, was they were going to kind of use that and see what worked and what didn't, maybe implement some of those things into the NFL games.
Yeah.
And seasons going forward.
We'll see it there first, like kind of like in the minors and then the majors and in the MLB. You know, you see them implementing different rule changes in the minors and then slowly bringing it over to the MLB.
Yeah. And last thing I have here, apparently Colin Kaepernick had a scheduled workout with the Las Vegas Raiders.
Yeah.
Apparently not a deal hasn't been made as of yet, but it was his first official workout with a team here.
I just hope it wasn't like a PR move on the Raiders' part.
I don't know. I mean, was it Mark Davis is the owner? He had a quote from a couple years ago saying that he would encourage his coaching staff and management to bring Cap in, and he'd be all for them signing. So, I mean, he's made that known. It's just a matter of who was going to do it first. I know the Seahawks were thinking about it, and then the Raiders finally did it. Now it's just a matter of maybe if they kind of open the floodgates, maybe now these teams will kind of have a little bit more interest, not kind of be scared to do it.
I want to see them at least like bring him to camp or something.
Yeah. Because, it's one thing to have like a little workout for him, put him in a camp, like with
give
a
him
bunch
a
of players.
contract where it's not guaranteed, but sign on the dotted line that, okay, if you make the team, you make the team,
Yeah. Why not? And he said he's cool with being a backup, and I'm sure he'd be a decent backup.
Exactly, man. And the thing about it is, like, I'm all for Kaepernick playing, but I'm also on the side where I'm realistic about it, like where people are saying like he wasn't really that great before.
And it's been a long time.
And then on top of that, it's been 6 years. So like I don't really know what we're gonna get out of him. But the thing is, dude deserves a chance. Give him a chance.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like he got blackballed in the first place. I know we're 6 years removed from that, but like at least give him a chance. Let him go out and show us that he can't play football.
If he fails, then he fails. Then he doesn't make it.
Then he fails, and we have our answer. But otherwise, we lost 6 years of his talent, or no talent. That's the thing. You just don't know because we didn't even get to see it. That's the frustrating part about it.
Yeah, it really is. But that's all that I had as far as NFL news. Wasn't too much here this week.
Yeah.
Hopefully we get some decent news here going through these next couple weeks. Now all their teams in the NFL are in their OTA period, kind of getting some, hype around some players, some rumors, who knows what's going on here.
Interviews and things,
Interviews. Yeah. So I'm looking forward to a lot of news coming out of those training camps. But we can roll right into our bias bubbles here. I really don't have too much, man. I don't know what you have here.
For my Pats, I don't have anything. I was looking around and I didn't have anything of like significance to really put on where it's just training camp things like you were saying. We're kind of gearing up. We got players talking about how hyped they are for the season. We have our rookies are doing great, or we're seeing little flashes of things that they could potentially be doing. So it's really just OTAs at this point.
Yeah.
There hasn't really been anything exciting, super exciting coming out of Patriots camp right now. Did have some big news for the Lakers since the last time we were on.
It happened like a day after we recorded, bro.
Of course, like it never fails. Hired David Ham as our new head coach. Okay, so like, we'll see how this goes. Okay,
Charles Barkley says it's gonna fail.
Yeah, I mean, first of all, Charles, he don't have a very good track record as far as like he's like me with these bold ass predictions. He be saying shit to say it sometimes, So
did you see what he said? He's like, when you have a coach that played with one of your players or played against one of your players, it's not gonna work out.
I mean, he's probably not wrong. I don't feel the greatest about it either. But we gotta roll with it. That's how I gotta go. I gotta do it.
Gotta roll with it, man.
Gotta roll with it, man. We gotta see what happens here. So
I had to live through fucking Jim Boylan and what was the other? I don't even remember the old dude's name for Chicago anymore. The young guy. I don't remember his name now, but I remember fucking Jim Boylan not knowing what the hell he was doing.
Yeah, man. So we're gonna deal with this. Maybe it'll be like a Celtics and their head coach situation. Who knows?
Maybe.
Like, we don't have a Brad Stevens in the front office.
That's true.
Okay?
You got a GD bus.
We got a GD bus.
And a Phil Jackson that they're apparently still listening to advice from.
For whatever reason, last time I heard about this motherfucker, he was a Knick. So, like, what's going on here? I don't understand. I don't think the Lakers understand what the fuck.
And I'm sure Magic's probably putting his 2 cents in there every now and then, too.
Of course. And the Rambus. The Rambuses as well. Just everybody who shouldn't have an opinion has an opinion, and it's being listened to right now as far as LA. So whatever. I feel like I've already lived through historically the worst time in Lakers basketball.
I've lived through historically the worst time in like Bulls basketball, probably.
I'm living through it right now. Like that's literally. I know we just got a chip, but like we're living through it. We've brought it up on this show before. Statistically, the worst period in Lakers history ever.
Oh
so,
yeah.
Like it could only go up from here. Even if we have more bad years.
Two seasons within 4 seasons apart of being like the worst seasons in franchise history for you guys.
Yeah, exactly. And that's what I mean. I'm like, even if this is real bad, it gets real bad. Whatever. Fuggy dude. You know what I mean?
Fuggy dude. We got NFL to worry about. We got NFL stuff.
That's not. Because I'm thinking long term for the next couple years. Yeah. I don't want to go through another couple years of the Lakers just being abysmal. But like, my main point is, it's not going to be as shocking. I've already led through it. I've already led.
Oh yeah, that's why. Like, even though it didn't go as well as we wanted it to go, as far as Bulls fans this season, it was 100% way more successful than anything we've seen like in the past 7-6 years here.
See, and as far as my Lakers, this season from start to finish was shit. You know, they were talking shit on my boys since we signed the old heads. From the
beginning, yeah.
Since they signed the old heads, before they even started playing basketball. So, like...
And then you had broads, like, keep that energy.
Like, they did.
Around everything.
They did.
The internet doesn't forget, man.
They called him Westbrook the whole season, bro. Like, what do you mean, bro? You gotta
street clothes.
Street clothes and
Westbrook.
They called him street clothes. Oh yeah, they called him street clothes, bro.
Bro, when your name is Street Clothes, it might be time to hang it up.
You gotta figure something out. But they gotta lay off my fucking Lakers, okay? Because we're just going through some shit right now.
Why are we calling Zion Street Clothes, bro?
Because AD earned that nickname, bro.
He did.
Like more than anybody over years, he has earned that nickname. But that's really all I had for my bias bubble was the Lakers getting the new bull, David Ham. Let's go. You know, going ham, hard as a motherfucker.
Let's go rebuild this roster. Try to do what we can.
Gotta do what we can, you know. Ham, I trust at this point. So we'll see how it goes going forward.
I really don't have too much here. The only Bulls news I have here, Bulls vice president here, Arturas Karnisovas, the dude that came out and built this roster. He had an interview and he said the Bulls' current situation is not enough and he has to create something better. He said the vision is to win the title, and I realized last year this historic club deserves a better team. So he's like, this season it was great, it was successful, but it's not enough.
But it's not what we're after.
Back to work. And man, that gets me hyped because I know he's going to be making some moves here this offseason. First move, sign Zach to that deal. Got to re-sign Zach. Don't let this dude escape.
Don't let him go out here. Off.
Yeah. Go out here and then build that bench. Build some of these role players.
Yeah. I'm slightly concerned about Levine, to be honest with you. Not like to the Lakers or anything like that. Just to anybody.
It's day by day with me, man. One day I'm like, oh yeah, he's fucking re-signed, no problem. And then the next day I'm like, all right, this dude possibly leave. And what are we going to do? We got DeMar, who had a great season. We got Lonzo, who they're worried about what's going on with his knee.
They're worried about him being
healthy enough to play.
Able to play in the future.
If we lose Zach LaVine, we don't have like any other stars.
And what if LaVine's got that in his mind and he's looking for another situation? And who knows? Because
we don't have the capital to go out here and trade for Donovan Mitchell.
He said that he wants to play with y'all. So that's the biggest issue is like, it's really him just being like, I just kind of want to see what's out there. And so that's what's so concerning.
And part of the thing that makes me not worry about it is the Bulls brought him in and he was a focal point in helping build this roster this past season.
They consulted him on decisions and everything.
Exactly. So why would they do that and have him like help handpick this roster if he wasn't going to stay?
But that's the thing. Like they're not. It's not always necessarily them. Like they're doing everything they can to keep him. But what if he's still at the end of the day somebody entices him with something better? You know. Which, I don't know. I'm leaning towards. I more think he's a Bull next year.
Oh, I think so too.
I don't know what's gonna happen.
I just don't see any of these teams that they're and the thing is, a lot of this news about these teams that are like trying to like they're saying they have interest in them or whatever. This could all be leaked out by his agent, by his agency
Yeah, just kind of muddy the waters a little bit.
It's just playing the game at this point.
Mm-hmm.
But even these teams like the Blazers and like a couple of these other teams is like that situation is not better than what they have here.
No.
I mean, at least built like wise. Like, yeah, you got Dame, but they're not building around him. They haven't done anything to help Dame here.
Yeah, what makes you think they're going to help him?
Yeah, exactly. So I don't know, man. I just don't see a better fit for Zach. And not only that, but he can make the most money out of it too.
Exactly.
And he has security.
It makes the most sense for him to resign with y'all.
Exactly. But I don't know. I mean, we've seen crazier things, man. in the NBA and NFL.
Give Russ $47 million. Goddamn.
Yeah.
I guess they didn't sign into that contract, but still.
But yeah, you guys took on that contract.
In Washington,
fuck
it up. Why are you giving Russ $47 million? Like
was that them that did that, or was that from Houston?
I'm pretty sure. I don't know. I'd have to.
It was one of those.
That.
It was either Houston or Washington.
That. Yeah, I'm not entirely sure, to be honest.
But yeah, it's going to Eagles. We had our start OTAs. Apparently, we're only having 6 sessions for OTAs here.
Really?
The maximum that teams can have is 11, and we're only opting for 6. Apparently, and they won't have 11 on 11s either. Apparently, Sirianni said everything we do is going to be thought out with players' health and safety in mind first. He's like, this is just OTAs. People are going to be, it's voluntary, but we're only doing these 6 sessions. We're going to save everything mainly for training camp and mandatory camp. No sense going out here and risk getting anybody hurt.
Yeah, exactly. You know, like might as well, especially it's not necessarily a situation where you don't want to get the work in. It's more or less just trying to get people up to speed and, like you said, not overwork anybody at the end.
And most of these guys, I mean, you have some vets there. Like I know Fletcher Cox isn't there. Jason Kelsey is there. But a lot of this is to get a lot of these younger guys up to speed, learning the playbook, doing all that sort of thing, you know, just getting workouts in. You know, all the main work will come here in mandatory minicamp and training camp going into the season here in like July and August.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
But I haven't really seen too much out of training camp. Oh, go ahead, man. Sorry.
I just wanted to hit on something real quick.
Yeah.
Back to my previous point. OKC gave Russell Westbrook this contract.
He's been rolling off that deal this whole time.
They signed him to a 5-year, $206.7 million contract. Okay, $206 million over 5 years. The salary went $35 million when OKC had him. Okay, they paid him $35 million. The next year he was on Houston, making $38 million. The next year he was on Washington, making $41 million. Then he was on the Lakers last year, making $44. Now he's at the last year of the contract. We're fully guaranteed, by the way. Now he's making that guaranteed $47 million on that last year of his contract. So that's why he's making so much fucking
Pharrell
money.
Song, man. I'm a hustler, baby.
Russ is a hustler. They gave him a 5-year deal. Like, God damn it, we're paying for his 5-year deal right now.
This dude has had 3 teams pay him the same deal. He had 2 other teams take on this huge contract, bro.
Oh God.
How does he have this deal still?
It's just rolling, man. He's just like nah,
John Wall, bro. How is this deal still rolling? And you ain't even playing. But the last thing, that's crazy, bro. That's a crazy sports stat. The last thing I have as far as Eagles, this was announced today. Apparently, Julian Lurie, son of Jeffrey Lurie, the owner, has officially part of the Eagles organization now. He is on as a business and football operations strategy analyst, I guess. But he's been kind of shadowing within the organization these past couple years. He's only like 27. But now he has an official role within the organization. And apparently the main focus of this is to get him to learn the ins and outs of this football operation. So eventually he will be the owner of the Philadelphia Eagles one day.
That'd be awesome, man. Okay. It's kind of just like training grounds.
Yeah, it's like your boy Bob Kraft and his son, but his son's like a lot older.
Jonathan Kraft.
Yeah, it's like that. Jeffrey Lurie is just kind of grooming his son to eventually be filling in his shoes then.
That's awesome. And he'll be in one day,
One day, yeah.
For eventually like a genie bus situation, they'll be in there. That's really cool to see. I mean, it's more of like kind of like some passing it down and like things like that. But
it's cool to see him like get started, and now he's going to be learning, these bits and pieces of the organization as he's getting older. So by the time he is an owner, he'll know the ins and outs. He'll know everything about it. So he'll know exactly what to do and everything. So that's pretty cool, man. And he's going to be learning under some of the best, because I don't know if you've been seeing, it seems like every offseason teams are poaching Eagles coaching staff and front office people. And it's been happening, we've lost multiple front office people, I think, to the Browns, the Steelers. There's someone else that took one of our front office. But the Eagles just have Joe Douglas left, who helped build that Super Bowl roster. He's on the Jets, and he's building that team now. So the Eagles, I know some of these teams are known for things like the Pittsburgh Steelers are known for like wide receivers, building them up. Apparently, Eagles are great at building front office talent. Apparently,
people coming in and scooping them all up.
Exactly. So it's pretty encouraging to have a young guy that's in there that's going to be learning the ins and outs from some of the best people that are in the organization, especially, learning from Howie how to weasel his way into some deals and all this stuff. But hopefully learns what not to do from Howie as well. But yeah, it's encouraging. It's pretty cool news going forward. So, I mean, that's awesome. Probably the only time I'll be hearing about him for a while.
Yeah. But still,
until he gets like another promotion.
That's still pretty cool there.
Yeah. And the only other thing I have to mention is that the only bit of news out of training OTAs, apparently Jalen Hurts has a whole new fucking throwing, like he's readjusted his throwing mechanics and his quarterback mechanics, apparently, from what they're saying.
Holy shit.
Apparently he had he worked with a QB guru this offseason. They're saying he heard all the noise from the media, from, the Buccaneers in the playoffs, saying that he can't read defenses and everything. Apparently he worked with a QB guru to work on his throwing mechanics. And not only that, but reading defenses and getting through his reads faster.
And really just trying to improve overall.
Exactly. And I mean, I talked about it before on how Jalen Hurts, it seems like he's always putting that work in to get better, 1% better every single day. So like you're saying, man, everybody's betting on him for a reason. Not only do they have a good team around him, but, he's putting the work in to be a great talent in the NFL, and I hope it works out for him, man.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, it's just kind of getting that 1% better every day, trying to just really get as good as you can at your craft.
Yeah, and it's so damn cool to see, like, he's out here, like, hopping on private jets with teammates, going to games. He's out here. The first picture I saw at OTAs was him dropping back, and this dude got a mini fro with his hat backwards with these big ass like sunglasses on with his red shirt, bro. And I'm like, bro, this dude like got swag out here. And they have like a team picture of him and the wide receiver. It's cool as shit though. But he's out here swagging. There's pictures of him playing pool with AJ Brown. He has like a Jordan and Pippen sweater on. It's cool as shit, dude. He's really embodying that personality for the city, man. It's not like Carson. I feel like he gets the city a lot better than Carson did,
Yeah, he's more trying to be 1,000% part of the community,
Exactly. And it just seems like he fits the team more. It seems like the team is, they're rallying around him more so than it seemed.
More than happy to have him on the team there.
Yeah, and man, that's all you can want going into a season is the culture to be great in an organization. And I know you could say it because every time I see Patriot stuff, everyone's all smiles there, and it seems like you guys are building a good culture over there.
They're really trying to. We're in the post-Brady era. We're on a couple years removed now, so it's the stigma's gone. It's more like 100% we're on this something new. So that's really I like it too. It's exciting.
Yeah, and it's exciting because I see it on the outside, seeing your Pats, that your team has really, like, Mac Jones is that dude to your team. And that's the way it seems to the Eagles, is like everybody knows Jalen Hurts is this dude for the team, and we're rallying around him. And that's what you like to see with your team going into a season.
Exactly, man. I completely agree.
But yeah, that's all the news I have for this week, which you know what time it is now. The crazy sports stat fact of the podcast. And this is actually relatively new. We're going to be talking about the juggernaut that is the Tampa Bay Lightning, bro. The hockey. We're going to talk about hockey. Yeah. Bro, listen to this shit. Entering tonight, as we're recording, the Lightning have won 78 playoff games since 2015.
Damn.
The most by any team. The next closest during that span is the Pittsburgh Penguins with 45, bro.
Holy
so they have like 30 games more, bro, playoff wins. Like that's nuts, dude.
That's dominant. Like, and I know they have 2 chips back to back going for the third one here, but that's like a whole nother, that's like Patriots dominance. Like, as far as Belichick and Brady in the playoffs having so many more playoff victories than anybody else, just like those two, like, that's ridiculous, man.
Yeah, God, and apparently the Lightning are the only team to win 10 straight playoff series since the first round was changed to best of 7 in 1987.
Holy shit.
So 10 straight series they've won.
And they're about to make it 11 if they can cap off this conference finals here.
Yeah, I mean, they just swept their last opponent. And I mean, they're chilling right now, pretty much. So, I mean, it's looking like they're going to be going to another Stanley Cup finals here. And they're probably going to be hoisting that cup again.
I want to see it happen just because I want to see the three-peat happen. It's historic. It doesn't happen very often. Let's get it done.
And now, I'm not going to claim I know a lot about hockey, but it seems like general consensus is they're one of those teams similar to some of the teams in NFL, like the Rams, is they went in and went all in on some players, and that's what they had to do. It's working. They went out there and they're like, here's some money. Here you go. Here you go. Here you go. And they just built up this squad, and they are rolling. Like 3 years, like that's dominance right there, man. That's crazy.
They're doing it the way that, it might not be the right way, but some people it is the right way, whatever works.
It's the new way,
apparently. The new way, honestly.
Because not even just NFL, NBA, hockey now. Like, it's happening everywhere.
Even, everybody wants to think about Miami's big 3, but I think about Boston's big 3, like starting with that.
Yeah. So it's getting wild out here for these organizations and these, just these different, this just within the sports in general with these teams. But yeah, that's the show for you for this week. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe. Make sure to check out all the content across the Waves 5 channel and on the Squad Pod Sports channel. We have our own designated channel that we're going to be uploading everything to here. If you're watching on the Waves 5 channel, make sure you go like and subscribe to there, and vice versa. And also follow us at Squad Pod Sports on Twitter, and we'll see everybody next week.
Peace.